Hello everyone! In this tutorial, we will go over how to complete the ESG/Environmental Practices questionnaire. If you are in a hurry, click the Get Started orange button here. You might also see an Update or Continue button if your organization previously answered the questionnaire. If you explore a bit, you will see a new seed with timely relevant information about TSP, the Sustainability Supply Chain Alliance, SSCA, and other more general developments in environmental sustainability. The Learn section helps you find industry-specific practices you can implement at your organization. A Data Reporting section, which we explore in another video, is available for you to track your organization's water use, waste generation, or estimate your organization's GHG emissions if you are not using other tools to do so. If there are any customers that requested you to respond, they will be listed here. For example, you will see SCA utility members that requested a response as part of the Alliance annual assessment. If your organization completed an assessment before 2022, you will have to answer the ESG core questions. If your organization already answered in the past, the questionnaire will be pre-populated with past answers. The ESG/Environmental Practices questionnaire is made of two parts: environmental, social, and governance core questions about your organization policies, targets, as well as data collection and reporting practices. This is the mandatory part of the questionnaire to answer. The second part of the questionnaire are industry-specific environmental practices that you can assess your organization against, as well as consider integrating into your improvement planning activities. There are currently over 400 practices covering 24 industry segments. This is the result of countless individuals and organizations that have volunteered their time and expertise within the framework of a Creative Commons content governance process. This means all practices identified were researched and debated before being included. The resulting practices details are available free of charge under a Creative Commons license. You can find more about participants and the process itself in the FAQ on the TSP website. If you need a spreadsheet to circulate within your organization, click Download. If you wish to invite a contributor to the website, you can also do so. The questions with required answers are marked with a vertical red bar. If there is a previous answer from your organization to a similar question, it will show up as a suggestion with a blue circle. Answers are automatically saved as a work-in-progress assessment. You can restart wherever you left off, or another person on your team can. Note the assessment is not officially complete until you review it and click Complete. At various places, you will be prompted to add a note/comment. Please add a public URL if supporting materials are available publicly, or upload a supporting document, for example, a PDF of the Employee Code of Conduct. Make sure it is okay with your IT department and outgoing uploads are not restricted. The note icon toggles comments on and off. Let's check we have answered all questions in the ESG core section. By clicking Peers, you can compare your organization's answers against an anonymized aggregated set of organizations that answered the questionnaire as well. You see the percentage of peers that responded yes or no. Your answer is highlighted in green. In 2023, we added the NAICS code question. This will enable more relevant industry-by-industry trends. Reporting greenhouse gas emissions is optional at this point, but we really encourage you to start measuring GHG emissions. The Alliance has great in-depth training materials on how to get started with GHG emissions tracking, for example. If you are using a third-party tool, enter the number directly. If you are not using any tool to track emissions yet, you can enter data in TSP Tracking Tool. Then click Import from Tracking Tool here. Setting ESG targets is mandatory. If you do not have a target yet, please select No Target from the drop-down. We are moving to the planning step. Improvement planning through the tool is optional. Nonetheless, it might be one of the most beneficial exercises to do for your organization. So we will cover the basics here. Improvement planning requires to select an industry segment and conduct an assessment against industry-specific practices first. The list of actionable practices is grouped by category segments. Scoring on each practice is done through both the intrinsic value of implementing the practice and how many industry peers have implemented it themselves. When I choose Not Applicable, a comment box is popping up because the practice was identified as relevant for your industry. It is pertinent to explain here why it does not apply to your organization. After assessing your organization against all practices in the industry segment and understanding where your organization fits against peers, you are ready to create an improvement plan. Here you have the opportunity to view the intrinsic value of each practice in terms of environmental impact, operation cost, etc. All those practices are available through the Learn section on your organization's homepage. The description of the practice indicates how it works and how to implement it. As well, tags in the top right corner show which environmental data the practice targets, here energy and greenhouse gas emissions. You can easily view your organization assessment in the first column, the implementation amongst peers in the second column, and the opportunity score in the third column. The opportunity score is a combination of intrinsic value and peers-based value. Let's select that practice to add to the improvement plan. The Highlights section shows answers to a few key questions. In this example, the organization doesn't track environmental metrics, shown in gray. It does communicate targets publicly, though. We can see the planned improvements are mostly centered around waste, with water use as a second. The primary contact information to discuss the report is also available in the top section. As we scroll down, we see how the organization fares against an anonymized aggregated sets of peers that responded to the questionnaire. Review your answers and notes. A vertical red bar indicates a question with a required answer that has none yet, in which case, scroll to the industry section title and click the Update link. If you made a mistake and selected an incorrect industry segment, just click Remove to delete that section entirely. If need to, you can assess your organization against multiple industry segments. This concludes the optional industry practices and improvement planning part. You can download the result as a PDF printout or an Excel spreadsheet. Click Complete to create a dated record in the system. It will take you automatically to the Share step. Here are listed all the pending requests from customers. You can grant or ignore them individually. When necessary, you can also send a copy to customers which are not listed in pending requests. You are done. Under the Assess section, we can now see the last completed date as of today. Under the Previously Completed section, we find the latest completed questionnaires as well as past ones. We can also see the list of customers those responses were shared with. This concludes this tutorial on how to complete an ESG environmental practices assessment. Thank you for watching. When you have any questions, please reach out to support@tspproject.org.